You are an island in a sea of chaos and trouble. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. In any bad situation, collapse, SHTF like we like to call it, you will be an island in a sea of chaos. Think about it, because you're here, you're preparedness minded. You're at least of that mindset, and at least you're starting. If you're a new beginning prepper, great, welcome to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. Seasoned preppers, good on you. Good job. At least you guys are awake. Get that light switch off in your brain saying, I should have a little extra food for my family because, things aren't always perfect. Things don't always work perfectly. What do I mean by in a sea of chaos? Well, there's a lot coming down the pipe. There's a lot on the horizon. There's a lot of things that we may be subject to, that we may not like. We may not be able to get what we need, supplies, like we used to, like normal. So we need to prepare for that. What do I mean by we're an island? We're an island, like a bastion of hope, because we have prepared. We have food to feed our families, hopefully to help others also with. Water, the abilities, the capabilities, the skill sets to be able to stand, to be that rock that those waves are crashing against, and that slowly over time may erode, but it's standing strong. Better than the sand getting hit by that and just being washed away. That's all the people that are not prepared. I like these analogies. It's important to think about how important preparedness is and what we should be doing now. A lot of prepper channels, me included, we talk about food storage. We talk about water storage because you have to eat, you got to drink. Those are very important. But think about if we get to the point where you can't just go to the store and maybe buy a hat, buy a shirt, buy some boots, buy a tool, buy some toilet paper, buy plates, buy napkins, buy whatever it is, these kind of things that you use, pens, papers, all these kind of things. What are you going to do? There's a lot of things in our lives that we need, that we use. Some we need, some we don't. There's a ways around some things, like toilet paper. You don't have to have toilet paper. Just use a rag and a bucket method. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Bidets. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that really in depth, but there's ways around it. Some things there aren't ways around. Clothing. Well, actually, there are. If you have sheep for wool, or like Angora rabbits, or stuff like that, that you could, spin your own yarn. Somebody knows how to knit. Knitted clothing? Sure, of course. What about hides from animals? Yes, clothing can be made from hides of animals. Of course, there are ways around a lot of things. But say, like vinegar. I just bought a bunch of vinegar because we like using it for cleaning. Can I make vinegar? Well, yeah, there is a way I could make vinegar. Do I want to? Would that complicate my life? A lot. Yes, it would. What about baking soda? Can I make baking soda? Psh, I don't think I can. I don't know. Maybe there is a way to make your own baking soda. I'm sure maybe there's a way because somebody makes it, so I don't know. It's beyond my capability what I want to get into. Can I make my own sugar? No. Can I make my own honey? Well, no, not right this second. Do I have sources for it locally right here around me? Good people? Yes. But there's a lot of things. So these goods that you need to live, stock up on them. Have extras. If you need to go to thrift stores to do it, Goodwill, St. Vincent de Paul, Deseret, those are some of my favorites. As well as local little, faith-based organizations that have charitable things like Goodwill, like, thrift shops. That's a good way to get some clothing. Also, just don't throw away anything. If it's too big for you now, keep it, because that's part of the gray man look. Whenever you are well-fed in an SHTF scenario, you don't want to appear well-fed. So wear clothing is too big for you. It'll appear to people like you're losing weight, like everybody else. That's good. So don't throw that stuff away. If it's too small for you, don't get rid of it either, because you will fit into it more than likely, because you will lose weight. Even if you are well fed, you'll be so much more active. You just won't be able to eat all the calories you need in a day. You'll have to stay on top of that, especially if you're very active. So think about those kind of things. Think about anything else in your life that you need or actually really want to make your life easier, and start thinking about that. Repurposing, upcycling, yard sales, thrift stores, Get stuff like that you need. Inexpensive stuff, but try also to get some quality items. Quality matters. There's one area where quality is key to me. Footwear. Footwear quality matters. Good, really high quality merino wool socks. Love them. And good quality boots. Good quality flip-flops, running shoes, stuff like that. That really doesn't matter in an SHTF scenario. Really, the boots I have are, some people call them hiking shoes, which some of them are more oriented towards that. And then I have pairs of actual, like what people would say are boots. Have extras of that. Foul weather gear, things to keep you warm, blankets, quilts. Can you make, yeah, you can make a quilt out of a bunch of old rags, stuff you have laying around, stuff that just you can't wear anymore, cut out the good portions that aren't all ratty, and repurpose. Yes, you can. But think about your ability that may be infringed and impeded soon, hopefully not, but I'm just saying worst case scenario, to get goods and services like this. Also start, this is like building mags, building team, building tribe, building the community, interfacing with your neighbors, your friends, your families, all the people around you. If you build these contacts now, you know, my next door neighbor may have bees for honey, whereas the person down here may have cows. The person over here may have goats. Everybody has chickens. This guy's got a big greenhouse. This guy's got a garden. Over here they have something else. And you can work together as a community if you make those contacts now and those connections and build the relationships. Very important to build relationships now. Now. We can't do this alone. I said island in a sea of chaos, but we don't want to be just stuck on an island like it's only us, only my family and I. I was meaning preppers are islands in the sea of chaos. Safe places. To an extent. The storm still affects us, but we can make do. We can figure out ways to make stuff our own, repurpose stuff, find stuff. We have skills to be able to get by with other methods of doing things. That's why it's important to be able to think outside the box. All this stuff, a lot of it comes from here, your brain. Like I always say, the most powerful tool in preparedness. Well, he's the most powerful tool in preparedness. And faith in him and trust in him, to me, personally. But second most powerful tool in preparedness. What's the third most powerful tool in preparedness? Tribe, group, community. Yes, having others to have your back. Looking out for each other. Division of labor. Being able to do all those things. Start getting your stuff now if you haven't already. If you are, up your game. Harsh winter coming, according to Farmer's Almanac and a lot of other sources. It's supposed to be a very, very harsh winter. What happens if a Texas type thing happens where you live? And it might be a convenient time for some people to have that happen. You know what I mean? Then they'd be like, oh, hey, we're the government, we're here to help. Oh, but you have to have this that you may not want to do. Think about it. That may be coming. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. Hope not. Hope everything's smooth and fine. I just want to garden with my kids, play with my kids, work on my house, work on my property, enjoy a simple, free life. Just don't want to be messed with. You know, I'm just doing my thing. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not messing with anybody. Just living a simple life. And I hope that continues. But we know it won't. We know there's natural disasters. We know that there's things like economic collapse. We know about an untenable national debt. We know about immigrants, refugees. We know about so many different things going on right now. We know about coming regulations that we may not be in agreement with. If you are, fine. Free will. God gave us free will. We don't all have to agree on everything. It's okay to disagree and still get along and still be friends even. So think about these things. Get your stuff ready now. Look at your closet. What do you have? What do you need? What don't you have too many extras of? Maybe pick up an extra of this or that thingamajig or that-a-majig. But start thinking about these things now. Now, okay, here's another. We're getting into a season change. What do I always do at season changes? Season changes, I look at my prepper notebook. I look and I say, okay, what is the status of my preparedness plan? What are weaknesses? Not only you look at it, have trusted people also look at it. My wife look at it. My son, my oldest daughter. Try to poke holes in it. Think of scenarios in your head. War game, what can go wrong? What possibly will go wrong? And tell me where my weaknesses are. Because you may not see your weaknesses. You may not be aware of your weaknesses. Other people think differently than you do. You made that plan. You wrote that notebook. You have everything in here. You know you got yourself squared away. Or not. Right? You may not be. But somebody that is you're okay with them seeing what all you have. Which that's inner circle type person. That's a trust thing. OPSEC. Be mindful of it. Don't just show your neighbor who doesn't know anything about preparedness everything you have. Because then he may blab to everybody else and then you'll have this golden horde show up at your doorstep when things go bad. Think about that. But another set of eyes, another brain, another way of looking at it, another way of thinking is very important. So do that, please. Start thinking about this stuff now. Reassess your strengths, your weaknesses. Like I said, season change. What do you need to start doing now? How are things going to change? We're going to start winding down the garden pretty soon. Then what do we need to do? We need to start building and preparing more garden space for next year to increase our caloric production capability, as well as building a chicken coop, getting chickens in here, all the other stuff, maybe some goats. We don't all know. We got a plan. And OPSEC, I'm not going to tell you anyway. So, yeah, think about these things. Please remember, prepping is living insurance. And remember that your food storage is your emergency plan. You got to have a way to replenish your emergency fund. That's your emergency fund, not emergency plan, emergency fund. You got to have a way to replenish it, meaning growing your own food, raising your own animals, hunting, fishing, trapping, foraging, all those kind of things. So you have to have the skill sets and the knowledge to be able to do that. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please share the videos. Please comment below. All the things to help with the algorithm. And do the same for all the other awesome prepper channels out there. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. And blessings to you and yours.